It's the NFL on EA Sports, and tonight's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Dallas Cowboys and the Tennessee Titans. Coming up next.
All in all, we have a pretty pleasant December day in the Volunteer State. The chilly rain from last night has moved on. The temps have bumped up a bit here at Nissan Stadium in Nashville. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Dallas Cowboys and the Tennessee Titans. And hi again, everybody. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, when you and I were going through our final run-throughs of breakfast, we kept thinking tonight we're going to get to see a couple of very good passing offenses.
And we're talking about both sides having multiple receivers that can have an impact on this game. It's not just one guy that's going to make all the plays. If you take him away, maybe number 2, number 3, they make the big plays that impact who wins the game.
Here's the former Cornhusker Brett Maher to get this one started. And off we go from Nashville. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Here come the Titans for their first possession on offense, and leading them out in his 4th season with the team, 10th overall in the NFL, Ryan Tannehill.
And one of the things that has really impressed me about Ryan Tannehill has been his perseverance. Early in his career, didn't have the success that he desired. Had some injuries that slowed his development, but he kept working at his craft, and now he's a guy that I think you can put a game on his shoulders.
Tannehill to throw on the first play. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and it's going to be a first down. Well done. 13 yards on the game's opening play. Charles, that's a route that you and I have seen time and time again in our years up in this booth, and that executed well and a great throw, too.
And sometimes, even if you know it's coming, the execution will trump whatever you do on the defensive side of the ball. Plus, it was a well-thrown football. A nice, healthy gain right there.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Out of the gun, Tannehill. This will go to Henry out wide. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and it's 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker, try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Tannehill going to the right here and finding Burks. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And Henry fighting for the marker, but I don't think he got there. He did not. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
On 4th down, Ryan Stonehouse on to punt. Following the punt return here, there's someone shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 13. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
Just a right and this horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. They keep on the ground with Elliott. Monty Rice there on the tackle.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough and run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball even snaps. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
On second down, Elliott. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped. But what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, and ends up spilling it for a loss.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Prescott to Schultz there for the Cowboy first.
Now how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football. Quarterbacks love it when they can show off their arms.
Now Mike Vrabel ensure that last call. He's going to throw out the red flag.
The previous play is under review.
Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Now here's the call.
After review the play, ruling on the field stands.
So not successful there on the challenge, and he'll have to be careful from here on out because he'll only have one challenge remaining. Two first downs have him up to the 41, out for 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Prescott. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it'll be 2nd down. Prescott now. Forced out to his left. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes because even as he escaped the pocket at one time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. They'll throw again. Prescott. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That's a 3rd down conversion to 24 yards there. Nice play.
That's a big gainer on that play, and from experience, I can tell you, that's where defensive backs will come into the huddle and say, guys, how about some pass rush? But you're going to say it nicely because those big guys up front, they don't like being criticized very much. Quarterbacks in this league, you know they'll pick you apart if you give them time like that to find receivers downfield.
So operating for Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10, down at the 33. Inside give to Elliott. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
They're such a talented team at defending the perimeter and taking away throws to the outside. Great confidence, great skill.
They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. Now Prescott. And he's caught on his sideline, but he's not going to have a 1st down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
On 4th down, Prescott goes off, and on comes the Cowboy kicker, Brett Maher, for the field goal try. This will be spotted at the 37, so it's a 47-yard attempt. The kick by Maher is good, and the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. A lot of energy in this building tonight, but the opening drive produces 3, maybe quiets them just a bit, at least momentarily.
Just a little, right? That's all you're asking for, right? Things just getting started. You know they haven't taken the momentum totally here, but at the same time, they like what they've done here in the early going.
After the made field goal, Maher back out there to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Titans coming back onto the field for their 2nd drive. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Tannehill on 1st down. And incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it up to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now it's Tannehill. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on the snap.
The threat of a 2nd straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Tannehill airing it out deep for Woods. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Nifty move. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. 2nd drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. They've got a 3-0 lead and a football as they start 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Elliott. And he's across the 43, extra yards to the 43. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play call to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Here's Prescott. He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. To throw is Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
And that's a gutsy call there on 3rd and short because that's a play that's got a good chance of being blown up in the backfield for a big loss of yardage. But nice job out wide to gather in that screen pass, use his blockers well, and pick up the 1st down.
Up the middle, here's Elliott. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature in the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Prescott from the gun. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on it there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot, forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
Escaping the pressure right. Oh, wide open, complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. How about a 39-yard pickup? They'll take it.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure's good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay plastered to receivers long enough. And sure enough, they let a man come open, and the connection leads to a big play.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing, Prescott. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he could break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
From the 3, 2nd and a yard.
A give to Elliott. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Ezekiel Elliott, a 3-yard touchdown run as his guys are able to extend their lead. They go I formation, fullback leads the way for the touchdown. Sort of a lost start, isn't it?
It really is, but sometimes when you're able to bring it back and use it against other teams, they're not prepared for it. They haven't seen it in a while, and now you gain an advantage, and we just saw that advantage result in a touchdown.
Brett Maher on for the extra point. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott.
So an early 10-0 lead for now as they kick it away. From the 6. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively.
They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. They'll fake it now. Tannehill. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Leighton Vander Esch wreaking havoc with a sack. Now, the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to it in a hurry.
Yeah, and this time it's going to come from the middle linebacker because watching the lineman, it seemed to me that they thought he was going to drop back into pass protection, but he surprised them and came on the blitz instead and had a pretty clear run to the quarterback.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Tannehill now to throw. And finding the tight end Hooper.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
And the Cowboys here on 3rd down, bringing in an extra defensive back. Draw play. This is Henry. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. 3rd down seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and then get anywhere close to the 1st down.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now as he's on to punt for Tennessee. And he's getting a workout here in this 1st quarter as he gets it away. Oh, shifts past him. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They're looking sharp out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10.
Get him going, baby.
Now Prescott. Dancing to his... And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Bud Dupree off the edge and getting to the quarterback.
That's an excellent way to get the pass rush activated. The first sack of the game for them comes on the first play of the drive, and it makes it very tough for the opponent to pick up a 1st down now, playing behind the sticks.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
Delay of game, offense.
Now the offense knew what they were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
Still 2nd down.
Prescott. Binds it under pressure again, and down he goes again. Bud Dupree, now 2 sacks for him already here in this 1st quarter of play.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Back-to-back sacks have this place in a frenzy as they line up again 3rd and long now. Here's Prescott. Got his man complete. And a loose football. It's picked up by the Titans. And they're going to bring this one back. A fumble return touchdown for the Titans. Even a great one, some of the best, they're not immune to the fumble, and here it really hurts them.
If the ball gets away from any runner's body, that's when the defense pokes at it, swipes at it, swats at it, and finds a way to create a big play for themselves.
For the point after is Randy Bullock. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. So now they'll score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And here comes a return for just beyond the goal line. Zeke and the Cowboys ready to begin their next drive. Looking for a bounce back. Had a fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. See if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school where he fumbled 3 times in the first quarter, finished with over 300 yards on the night, later ended up in the NFL. If you got a talented back, give it back to him.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. He'll hand it off to Elliott to begin the drive. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
$10-7 our score after run right here on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Prescott to throw it. He finds his target. It's Schultz.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
In 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
To throw again on 2nd down. Prescott toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
They thought he had an open book beyond the 1st down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll set up to throw. And that's Elliott, complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 3 yards, all they can muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. They'll send this up into the Nashville skyline, and it's a good one. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Titans will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over 1st and 10. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice? Maybe that's throwing them off. Or they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way.
On 1st down, Tannehill. And Brian downfield by Burks. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and 1st down.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a 1st down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Tannehill. And that is incomplete.
The offense schemed going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. Now Tannehill.
That's caught. Nick Westbrook-Akine with it.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a first down on the play.
Partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Here's 2nd and 10. Tannehill going to turn and give this to Henry.
And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
Get him going, baby.
And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. Here's Tannehill. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
Micah Parsons showing off that elite athleticism as he gets the sack. He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage, well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now.
He'll boot it away from about his 35. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. And out now come the Cowboys.
No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 16. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Prescott going to take a shot for Gallup. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Prescott now. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Mario Edwards flies in to blow that play up.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Here's Brian Anger now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Able to slither by. Nowhere to go that time. It's a 46-yard punt with a loss on the return, and it'll be Titan football.
Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
A gain of 3, second down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave him no cutback angle. You know he's trying to dart through. There's no place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Back to throw, Tannehill. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. First down, Titans, gain of 12.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver. Although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
A first down carry for Henry. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Again, it's Henry. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
A big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, they have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line. They'll hold blockers off of them and allow them to flow sideline to sideline and make the big hits.
A line to gain is a 33 on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. Toward the sideline, it's complete. An athletic grab, but still well short of the first. That's going to bring up 4th down. Only a gain of 2 there.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. I think he's been spending time in receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it.
And he'll try and throw here on the fake. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. It would have been a long field goal. The fake doesn't work out. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
Dallas offense set for this next drive. And these guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt, then you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. 55 rushing yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that they don't start to slow him down. It's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium, because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, you know, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. So the completion good for just 3. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz game. and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Delayed game, offense.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Still first down.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now Prescott.
And he'll go right back to Lamb. And he's brought down here just outside the 20.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he...
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Christian Fulton.
The 40, 20, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Here's Bullock now for the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
Taken in at the 3. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field.
Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Back to it after the pick six. Prescott. He finds his man complete. It's Schultz. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. 10th carry now for Elliott. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. On 2nd and 11 now. Prescott. His throw incomplete. incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Draw play, Elliott.
And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. 68 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it, but a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
Throwing on first down, but this one lines up to be incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Prescott now from the 50. That one complete to Elliott.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves, then they might get hit with a screen. Maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Here's Prescott. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
They'll run it with Elliott. Room here to run.
And he's going to have a first down here. They're also in the field goal range now at the 27-yard line.
The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
So the drive stays alive after the 4th down conversion. 1st and 10 inside the 30.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And this one is incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. To throw is Prescott. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, every point certainly counts at this stage of the game, but after driving so far, you absolutely know they want to finish it with 6 instead of 3.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Throwing, Prescott.
Open man, Lamb. It's complete. Touchdown, Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb.
27 yards.
And the Cowboys will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half.
So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points.
That penalty is declined.
Now another shot here at the PAT. It's good, and they'll take a 17-14 lead. So that one a long 11-play drive.
And it's finished off by the touchdown from CeeDee Lamb.
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25.
The Titans going to go back on offense here late in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together and maybe get into field goal range.
On 1st and 10, Tannehill. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Tannehill with a play fake to Henry. He'll throw instead. Open man, Westbrook-Akine. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
It's not often they can find offensive and defensive guys that'll agree on much, but one place they find common ground, you've got to protect or attack the middle of the field. And no one was there. What a big play, moving it downfield.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Out of the gun, Tannehill. And finding the tight end, Hooper. Touchdown! Austin Hooper as the first half is winding down.
And the Titans have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half.
But we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total. But all he did was get the ball out quickly to a tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Now Bullock to add the extra point. It's up and good to make it 21-17. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays.
And it's capped off by the Austin Hooper touchdown. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Fielded right around the 8. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together.
And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. Final play of the half, Prescott. He's going deep for Brown. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So that PI call will give him one more play.
And be an untimed play as well. Now the half will end after this one, unless there's another defensive penalty.
The kick by Maher is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome everyone to our brand new studios here in downtown Orlando in the EA Sports halftime report. First, though, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for the Cowboys. And despite the fact that they're down on the scoreboard, they were able to have some success throwing the football in that opening half.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Cowboy offense set to go to begin this third quarter. Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
Second half starts with a carry by Elliott. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there, holding point of attack and not giving ground.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field. It took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Prescott from the gun. Flush to his right, and he'll just get rid of it. The Bears are going to come up empty on this first drive in second half, still down by that slim margin.
Yeah, and that's okay. You know, when you sit and analyze it, they're not happy about what happened, having to go to the bench. But this gives them a chance to let their defense do some work while they on the sidelines go over what they're doing offensively and formulate a proper plan.
On to punt now, Anger, as he boots this one away.
They'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Now come the Titans now. They'll have it first on offense to start the third. Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 27.
He'll start with a give to Henry.
And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they can actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Following pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Tannehill.
On the slant, Burks.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 17 yards on that play for the Titans.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and he pick up a first down.
They run wide side with Henry. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ballgame. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
On 2nd and 11 now. Tannehill, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to have a short field here as they take over right at the 50. Well, look, we're watching a quarterback here that's obviously been around for a long time. That's a throw he wishes he had back.
He certainly does, but as you well know, this is a guy that's used to taking a few chances, used to fitting it into tight windows. These are throws that he's made before. Didn't happen to get it completed in this case.
So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over.
They'll have good field position at midfield following the turnover as they start with first down here.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
On the throw, let him too much that time. It's incomplete.
You know they wanted, you know they expected. They needed him to be sharp coming out after the half. Unfortunately, he missed his first 3 throws. I wonder if he got out late and missed his warm-up time.
The whole team did come out a little bit later than usual. I don't know, maybe there's something to that.
Must have been a heck of a halftime speech.
Yeah, maybe just trying to rally the troops back from this deficit. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Prescott. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Prescott. This will be caught by Brown. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 4-5. It'll be a gain of 5. And that'll bring up 4th down.
I like the thought process. I like the design. But I think he may have waited a little too long to spot his man, because if you're going to run that drag route, you got to put it on him and let him turn upfield. Instead, he waits until the receiver's too close to the sideline and they don't get the yard after the catch.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. And it's a fake. He's going to throw it. Oh, and this turns into a mess as it's intercepted.
It's Roger McCreary with pick. And the Titans are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Anytime you send your kicker out to try a long one, you got to figure that the defense, they're on guard for something like that.
Oh, I like the way that you're thinking, because that's exactly what defenses practice when they put their special teams out there. Long field goals, most of the time you're not trying as hard to block it as you are to prevent a fake. And in this situation, that didn't fool anyone.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception for the last drive. He'll look to throw.
Going to Woods, but that pass is intercepted. Picked off by Kelvin Joseph. And the Cowboys are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
That had disaster written all over. You've got a right-handed quarterback, a rolling left, and throwing it pretty far downfield.
It's really difficult to do, to try and get your body twisted around into the proper position and get anything on the ball as you heave it downfield. And that's what it actually turns into, a heave. And that's not really a good throw, is it?
Not good, and we saw the result. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 37. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Eluding the pressure right. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. He's certainly one of those quarterbacks that can burn you with his mobility, but that time able to hem him in and get him to the ground.
Perfect descriptor right there about how they kept him in the pocket. Excellent job of containment, but they were still able to continue to bring such strong pressure without letting him escape. But how about those guys in the secondary as well? Kept the coverage tight, plastered to the receivers, and left no real options for him to throw it downfield.
After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. Now Prescott. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving them a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off a turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get on the football, but you're exactly right. It looks like they got to put this one away, and it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, now zapped right back in the other direction. Here's Brian Anger now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They'll come out throwing here, start the drive. And Woods has it complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
From all the way up at 38 now after a good start to the drive. A toss left, Henry. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop it behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
So after the loss of a yard, they look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Tannehill. Flushed out right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Well, sometimes an incompletion is the right play. And he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Tannehill. Escaping the pressure right. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play, and he did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now,
as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
And from the shotgun, he'll throw.
Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. Back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw it through contact and short of the sticks.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Prescott now. That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. A Cowboy first down there. Prescott to Gallup.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
Oh, man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Prescott to the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. Well, they're trying to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. And not much happening there. He's taken down, but a late penalty flag in the backfield. Well, this looks like a roughing call.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. The give is to Elliott. And he loses the football a 2nd time. It's picked up by the Titans. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. And a little careless there, Charles, on that carry.
And it's not just having 2 hands on the ball. It's tucking it away. It's using your body to keep people shielded off. There's so many different things that are taking care of it and having ball security. In that case, though, we didn't see it happen.
Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They'll set up a throw.
This will go to Henry out wide.
And to the 42-yard line here, brought down there. That'll give them 8 that time, and they'll be left with 2nd and a couple.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
10th carry now for Derrick Henry.
And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across the field and down to the 46.
An 11-yard pickup for the Titans at 1st down.
Running lanes run a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They'll run it again with Henry.
And he'll work down inside the 45.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll go option to the short side. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
right side. Henry's got it.
And he will have a Titans first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was a game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Tannehill.
And that's complete to Westbrook Akine. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. From 28, it's 2nd and 5.
Back to throw, Tannehill. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted.
Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. So this offense moving the ball well, trying to open up a 2-score lead here in the 3rd quarter, but now potentially a play that could have big ramifications.
Yeah, you've driven the ball down the field. Things are looking up, but it takes just one bad decision to throw things off the rails.
And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. And this has been a game of contrast somewhat. As you see, he's had success moving the ball on the ground. That fumble on the last drive, though, that's now 2 that he's lost in this game.
And that's where it really hurts and makes things difficult on a coach because you mentioned the success he's having, yet if he keeps turning it over, it negates all of that success. Take care of the football, and he's headed for a big game.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. On play action, they'll throw. To the side, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feed down complete.
Can you do any more work or make it more dramatic for not much gain than what we just saw there? Did you see how his toes got down? Tip-tap, got him down. What did he get out of it?
He sold the sizzle. He just had no steak.
I mean, was it 1 yard?
Yeah, you plays like that, you at least expect a first down. They're just 1 yard.
Prescott, he'll find Lamb. That's complete.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
Prescott and Lamb hooking up for the Cowboy first.
Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
A 3rd quarter now, to 1-point game as they line up 2nd and 10.
Prescott yet again. Got his man there, complete to Gallup. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 43. A gain of 18 and a new set of downs.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. To the air again, Prescott. dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only first down, so smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on second down.
Looking to throw again on second down. Prescott, and he finds his target at Schultz.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. But right there, he rose to the occasion late in a close game.
It's something he thought about, dreamed about, and worked on throughout his career. Because in these types of situations, he wasn't going to allow extra coverage to keep him from getting the football.
Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27.
102 yards on the ground for him now as he's gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Another carry for the leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now Prescott. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Schultz.
And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Throwing again on second down. Prescott. Quick slant to Brown.
Yeah, the Cowboys are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partnering and watching drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. Now Elliott. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Here's Prescott. This will be caught at about the 6. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
Now that's an offensive line you and I can play behind. How about the amount of time they gave their guy to scan the field and find someone open? Had all night, and in a game like this, probably should just put a spotlight on them instead of the quarterback.
Prescott on 3rd and goal. Being chased out left. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
Unsuccessful pass on 3rd down, but at least you got 3 points here in your hip pocket.
Yeah, and I would take it from my hip pocket and put it right on the shoe of my kicker and go get those 3 points. This isn't even a discussion to me. This is a chance to take the lead after a good drive. Do it.
Marr able to put this one through, and they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
After the made field goal, Marr back out there to kick it away.
Taking it at the 3.
Here's the Titan offense now as they make their way back onto the field.
And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game.
Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 22. Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. And finding the tight end Hooper. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be second down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive there. He hits the reliable target. To throw again on second down. Tannehill firing quickly here, and that's complete. First target, first catch, and first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Henry running right.
Takes it to about the 37.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Tannehill to the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
From the gun on 3rd down, Tannehill. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
Picked off by Kelvin Joseph. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football.
So rare to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Whether it's him personally or just the offensive game plan, I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding the upper hand.
And now here come the Cowboys.
Another important 4-quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he'll go down inside the 40 flag before going out of bounds. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott.
That is caught by Lamb. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
And these guys, they're not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
A first down carry by Elliott.
To about the 26 here.
But with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
Also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Prescott's throw complete into the hands of Schultz here. And they're going to move it down the inside 25.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Got an extra defensive back out there for the Titans out here for 3rd down. Steps away. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 15 yards there on the scramble and a first down.
The RPO always puts the defense in a little bit of a predicament, but when it's Deacon's act, that probably makes it extra tough, doesn't it?
Predicament. I like that word because when you look at it from the defense's perspective, Hard to commit either way, right? Because if you do, you're overcommitting. That's what they call a stressful situation. Many think that Dak should keep the ball more. Built so well, so solid, and running was a huge part of what he did at Mississippi State.
To throw is Prescott. Flush to his right. Left side to Lamb. A gain of 7 that time. Second goal. Now Prescott. And this ball is caught by Lamb. Touchdown, Dallas. A great effort there with his second touchdown of the night. And the Cowboys are able to build on to their fourth quarter lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Now an important extra point here to maybe salt this one away. And it is good, and the lead will swell to 9. So that drive 7 plays in length.
And it's finished off by the touchdown from CeeDee Lamb. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Tennessee offense set to go again. And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit. Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 23. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Then he'll find his target. Woods, it's complete. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short. A good start there on 1st down. They've got to have this drive.
No doubt about it. Down a couple of scores. They have to find a way to put it in the end zone. Chunk plays, explosive plays. That will be the key to this drive.
From the 31, Tannehill eluding the pressure right, and he wisely will throw that one away.
We've talked about it, CeeDee, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he's fortunate on that one. Not to have another turnover on his ledger.
Desperation time for Tannehill on 4th down. He's got Hooper on the short connection. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing again the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 1st down, Tannehill.
To Henry.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Tannehill's throw is on target to Burks. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to carry the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you?
Throwing Tannehill.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down.
That's interference.
Let's check in with the referee.
Well, there were about 70,000 that were quickly calling for that flag. It comes out there for pass interference.
And we think, partner, a little sarcasm in that cheering from this crowd here tonight. What they're hoping now is to build a momentum off of it and give them a more genuine reason to cheer down the road.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll make a second down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Now Tannehill's saying, let's get to the line.
Here's Tannehill.
And it's caught. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high-percentage play, but better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
So still a small chance here with a little over 30 seconds to go, but they're definitely going to need this one to bounce their way. And the Cowboys are going to secure the football, and with it, they'll just about secure the victory as well. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Up the middle, here's Elliott. And he's going to be down at the 35, gain of 7. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. A 20th carry here for Elliott.
And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25.
Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. The Cowboys on their way to victory as they take a knee. Now the Titans will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. Prescott, he goes down to a knee, and that should just about do it.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world and get it done, how happy with that.
I remember a coach in previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
Without question. When you force 4 turnovers You get to enjoy the spoils victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward, all you think about is, let's get 5 next time. They're going to be on the hunt.